November 24, 1971. A man identifying himself as Dan Cooper purchased a one-way ticket on Northwest Orient Flight 305 from Portland, Oregon to Seattle, Washington. He was a quiet, unassuming man in his mid-40s, wearing a dark suit, a tie, and a dark overcoat. He carried a briefcase. What happened over the next few hours would launch one of the most exhaustive and frustrating manhunts in history, and turn a career criminal into an American folk legend known as DBCooper. Shortly after takeoff, Cooper calmly handed a note to a flight attendant named Florence Schaffner. Assuming it was a lonely businessman's phone number, she dropped it into her purse. Cooper leaned in and said simply, "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." The note detailed his demands: $200,000 in unmarked, non-sequential $20 bills, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck waiting in Seattle. The flight attendant, seeing the red wires and battery packs inside his open briefcase, took the threat seriously. The aircraft circled Puget Sound for 2 hours while the FBI scrambled to meet his demands. Cooper was cool, calm, and strangely polite, even ordering a bourbon and soda. When the plane landed in Seattle, Cooper allowed all 36 passengers and 2 flight attendants to leave. In exchange, the ransom money and the parachutes were delivered. Cooper then ordered the remaining crew to take off, instructing them to fly southeast toward Mexico City, maintaining an altitude no higher than 10,000 feet. At approximately 8:13 p.m., somewhere over the dense, freezing wilderness of southwestern Washington, DBCooper made his final move. He lowered the aft stairs of the Boeing 727, tied the bag of ransom money around his body, and with a final gust of wind, leaped out of the plane and into the night. The plane landed safely. The FBI swarmed the area, but of DBCooper there was no trace. The ensuing search was unprecedented. Hundreds of agents, Army personnel, and volunteers scoured the rugged, heavily forested terrain. The FBI interviewed thousands of people and chased every possible lead. They had Cooper's description, they had his tie clip and cigarette butts left on the plane, and they had one major fact: no professional skyjacker would have attempted that jump in those conditions. He leaped into a 15-degree storm, wearing only a suit, facing 100-mile-per-hour winds. With a parachute he barely knew how to operate. Most experts agree he should have died on impact or frozen to death within hours. The case remained a stone-cold mystery until 1980. In a bizarre twist, an 8-year-old boy named Brian Ingram, vacationing with his family near the Columbia River, found 3 bundles of the ransom cash, $5, $800, in deteriorating $20 bills, buried in the sand. The money was confirmed to be part of the Cooper ransom. This discovery, nearly 30 miles from the assumed drop zone, only deepened the confusion. Did Cooper die shortly after landing, with the cash being washed down the river, or did he successfully bury it, only for the river to unearth a small fraction years later? The FBI officially closed the active investigation in 2016, citing their exhausted resources, but the case continues to be one of the Bureau's most intriguing unsolved puzzles. Despite numerous suspects over the years, from a former parachute rigger named Kenny Christiansen to a man named Richard McCoy Jr., who committed a copycat crime, no one has ever been conclusively identified as DBCooper. He became a legend, a folk hero of the counterculture era, a man who successfully robbed a massive airline and simply vanished. The story of DBCooper is a perfect crime, a masterwork of vanishing that remains the only unsolved case of air piracy in U.S. history. Whether he survived the jump remains the biggest unknown, but one thing is certain: a man in a suit, with a briefcase full of money, successfully disappeared into American myth. Subscribe for more videos.